I'm Lola Resminsky. I founded the Avenue Road Art School in 1993, 25 years ago. I feel very strongly that each one of us has talents and abilities inside ourselves that we actually haven't recognized yet. What happens when people take classes at the school is that they are surprised at what they're able to accomplish with the guidance of an inspiring teacher. It's really important to me that the teachers who work with our students be good communicators, artists in their own right, and very significantly supportive to their students. It takes a lot of courage for a student to try to make art for the first time or to imagine reaching a new plateau in their art. And what happens is that they love the feeling of getting better and better at something, which we all love. It's a wonderful feeling to know that you're improving. I'm very proud that we have at least 600 students who've taken 20 or more classes at the Avenue Road Art School. I believe they come back because they feel welcome, they feel inspired by their teachers, and everyone at the school, administrative staff, teachers, assistants, and the students all contribute to creating this warm and welcoming environment, and I'm very, very grateful to everyone for doing something that really brings out the best in everyone.
I have pursued a career in art, and I think it's partially because of the art school, if not mostly. And so I got a Bachelor's of Fine Arts from NSCAD University. And I've definitely since then just been pursuing art since I graduated. It's great having the connections I have at the art school still to this day. So my mom started working there, I think, in the first years of the art school. And so I was naturally brought along often to just hang out, and gradually just became the poster boy for a short time of the art school, maybe when I was like 2 years old, and then slowly that shifted into taking classes and then later assisting. When I make art, I feel expressive and empowered, and I think it's a great way for communication, and anyone can do it. And so the Avenue Road Art School is really the place to build on that and encourage and feed creativity.
My name is Damola Disoala Kija. I'm an artist from Lagos, Nigeria. At Avenue Road Art School, I specifically took the classical oil painting class. I have never worked in oil before. This was actually my first attempt in working with oil. I've always read about it, I've heard about it. My favorite artists use oil, and I've always found it to be the best medium for me in terms of color blending and texture and all that. And I'm also working abstract. Most of my abstract work is all in acrylic. Making art definitely does make me feel fulfilled. It is the only path where I have complete direction. It is the only path that I choose in life that nobody tells me what direction to go. So definitely, for me, it's my highest self.
The process of learning at the Avenue Road Art School has colored my process as an actor, has made me open up to new things and be less afraid to fail, because I will proudly state that I was the worst one in my class, but the most passionate. So I think it reminds you that no matter what age you are, you can fail. And especially with watercolor, you can really fail because you can wipe it out. So it's just the joy of learning and the joy of expanding my horizons. That's why I love it. Being an improv artist has helped me create art because I really am making it up. I'm not following any pattern. I'm listening to the teacher, but I've got my own style, as we all do. I tend to be strangely a little rigid as a painter because I want it to look pretty. And my teacher kept saying, just go for it. Just don't make it matter too much, she would say. And when I started doing that, I got better at it. I improvised. The reason I keep coming back to Avenue Road Art School is the teachers are so knowledgeable. You're being taught by professionals, and you feel like they're being taught in your home. And you're welcomed when you walk in the door. I just love going there. I just love the vibe.
I think the school is a special place because once you walk into the main doors, it's like you joined a new happy family, and everyone's just kind, considerate, caring for each other, and everyone's just pleased to help. I think the teachers are great at the school because they're not afraid to answer any questions. They're not afraid to show you where things are. No matter what class, no matter where you are, if you ask them a question, they will most likely help you unless they're helping someone else. In musical theater, a lot of things I've learned are most likely going to help me because working with a group that big, you have to learn how to have teamwork and how to listen to others. And if you're doing musical theater, you're most likely performing in front of a live audience, which means you have to perform on a stage. And that'll help me most likely in the future because now at my school we even do performances, and when I walk on stage I'm not nervous one bit because of musical theater. The classes I've taken out of school, I've actually made a list for. So, Spring 2018 Musical Theater Company, Winter 2018 Musical Theater Company, Spring 2017 Drama Musical Theater Company, Summer 2012 Camps for Grade 2, 3, and 4.
As a young man studying art at the Avenue Road Art School, everything that I learned studying art at that level, in that environment, directly translated for me into unprecedented success in school. I learned through art how to sit still and commit to things that were important. Through art, I learned how to apply myself fully. And those were all things that led to academic success, which eventually led to me winning a scholarship to pay for 4 years of my education.
The courses that I took at the Avenue Road Art School did influence the trajectory of my life. It was sort of embracing that artistic side of myself, which was quite different than my professional training as a chartered accountant, that allowed me to discover a whole other career path as an academic, as an instructor of drawing, and in using drawing as a teaching tool in the classroom, as well as in my own work as a curator and an author. I think in an age of technology, the opportunity to really slow down and experience quiet and stillness is something that's very difficult to achieve. When I draw or paint something, I lose a sensation of time passing and I'm fully present. And I think all of us can embrace that to achieve a sort of active form of meditation perhaps, or just find some quiet and peace.
I have no art in my background at all. It's engineering and business. Really, I enjoy problem solving, and so the common element is the problem solving, be it trying to resolve the issues in a painting or resolve issues technically or some of the other stuff that I do. Maybe I'm a little different than some of the other students is it's so easy for me to identify with the work that I'm doing, because I've had some terrific trips with my kids, my grandkids, the whole family, some fascinating places. So this was a way of remembering those experiences. So very easy to spend the time and energy to resolve the issue within the painting, be it the color, the lighting, whatever. It was remembering those experiences. What makes the Avenue Road Art School a special place? I think for me is the sense of community. It's small, it's creative, there's a sense of energy there, right from the little kids in the lobby to the teachers, to the fellow students, just the sense of creativity.
I took several classes, and they were all in botanical art, which is a relatively narrow area which involves painting or drawing plants with scientific accuracy, but also with an aesthetically pleasing approach. Well, it actually is good for my personality because I'm kind of obsessive and detail-oriented, but I love color, I love beauty of the natural world. It's actually a perfect combination for me. It's wonderful. It's a meditative process in which the rest of the world goes away. Your grocery shopping, your kids, your job, politics. All you can do is focus 100% on what you're doing, and that is so refreshing.
I think what I love about the school are the teachers and how open they are to new students and to long-term students, and really bringing out the mix and the wonder of all of that. But also the students, my colleagues or my peers. It's a very interesting mix of people, and each class that I take, there's some people that I'm familiar with and some that are new, and I just enjoy the learning experience from my fellow students too. Recently, I retired and decided that as a next step in my career, that I needed some discipline process to work through. And I thought I'd start my art practice with a solo show of paintings that I had primarily painted at the Avenue Road Art School. With the encouragement of a couple of the teachers, I set up the show and actually ran it, and had about 100 people attend and sold about half of my paintings. So, for a first art show, it was pretty successful, and it helped provide some income that I can, enroll in more courses at the Avenue Road Art School. I find from all the courses and all the instructors that I've had that I've found the learning experiences to be very exciting and primarily energizing. I leave classes and my mind is buzzing with all kinds of ideas.
The school is special because the teachers are excellent and they're committed and they are determined to help you paint in the way you want to paint. Originally, I was a lawyer and a policy analyst, and I decided I wanted to try painting, and I didn't have time because I had to work all the time. So my decision was to take a year off, go to the Avenue Road Art School, take some classes, and see how it went. And I fully expected that I'd be back at work in a year or less. But that was 12 years ago, I think, because I just love it. And it went well, and I can sell paintings now, and it's turned into a new career.
I was in the musical theater program for about 5 years, and I worked with Alison Beulah, and she really helped spark my interest in performance and theater. When I first started taking classes at the art school, I didn't have that much performance experience and really practice being on stage. And I know that being a part of the theater programs and acting classes at the Avenue Road Art School has really helped me feel comfortable on stage and with my performance skills. Next year I'm going to be attending the Glenn Gould School for Classical Voice Performance, and I know that there are skills that I've learned at the art school that I can take with me into that program, like feeling comfortable on stage, having good stage presence, always feeling grounded when you're on stage, and those are like a few basics that I know I can take to the next level with me. I think the art school's special because it's a place that's really inclusive and that you can just be yourself and be creative without any boundaries.
I remember I had a neighbor I would come here with, and it was something I did with friends. I mean, I actually remember when I was really little, I once got grounded, but the only thing I was allowed to do for that month I was grounded was come here. That was the only thing other than being at home and at school, so that was pretty cool. My parents knew they just couldn't take that away because it really was, I mean, if I could have just come here instead of school, I would have. It really felt like just a place to get to be among like-minded people who wanted to explore and make things, which was really thrilling. Before I started dancing, I knew I loved being a creator, not an interpreter of other people's work, but I knew I loved making my own stuff, whatever it was. I loved sort of getting to start from zero and build whatever it was I was going to build. You know, I remember the satisfaction in putting every coil into this massive pot that I built, and I think that really connects to choreography. You know, you're really creating something from nothing. You're not creating an object, you're creating sort of a world or a story on stage, but I think having that creative agency from a really young age is rare, and I kind of caught the bug early and didn't let go. Creating art makes me feel like my time on earth is well spent.
Shahad Al-Halabi, and I'm 13 years old. I'm from Syria and I speak 4 languages: Arabic, Turkish, English, and French. I take in 2 Julie classes and 1 drawing. When I came the first day in this class, I thought that, okay, I'm not gonna have that much friends, I didn't really know how to speak, and it's gonna be really hard. So I went to the class and I was so nervous. But then, the teacher just came to me and asked me about my name, and then I had just a lot of friends in the first day. I like to come to this art school to have a lot of fun, learn something new every single day, do something that makes you happy and makes everyone around you happy. When I came to the Julie class, I made a lot of gifts to my family, and they became so happy that I went there. more than just staying at home staring with the wall. The most special thing about my teacher is that they're so kind. I really had fun, and you have to come to this camp. It's the best thing in the whole world.
As a community, Avenue Road Art School, it's a community on a number of levels. One is just the other students. I guess we are. My wife tells my grandson that Grandpa's going to school, and it's kind of hilarious to explain to a 1.5-year-old that this older person is going to school. But it's a community of people who are all different stages. It's interesting to talk to people, find out, those who've been doing art continually for a very long time, those who've been doing it here for a long time. You come in and you're looking at some of the artwork and realizing that they've been with this teacher, and some of the people have actually followed some of these teachers who've come from elsewhere. And the teachers themselves are very, I haven't had a bad experience with a teacher. They're all different methods, but all care about how you're progressing and how you're meeting your own needs. Looking at what art is doing for me in other areas of my life, what art does in many respects is it teaches you to see. That's a lot of what art is, how to see shapes, how to see colors. And you really do, as time goes on, look at the world, and when I say the world, I mean everything around you, in a different way, and in a better way.
I was a student at the Avenue Road Art School as a young kid. I did a number of the arts programs, was part of a number of acting classes that put on productions, every so often. And then after that, I was a child actor for a little bit. I think the art school was incredibly special for me because it was one of the few times, you're outside of the normal classroom that you could really explore and be yourself and really understand, what you enjoyed. And I think I found that I loved acting. So that was incredibly special. And then, fast forward to today, and I think, when I was growing up, we didn't have cell phones. It was only, it's a kind of crazy thing to say, but now, my generation and the kids of today, everyone's on their phone, and we really don't have that time to explore, and kind of engage the creative sides of ourselves as much as we might want. And I think that's something that, right today, I think the art school has, as an important a place, in Toronto as it ever has, because it's allowing, students to kind of put down their phones for a few minutes and just, try something new and, expand the creative side of your mind, which I think, is really something that people are looking for today, in good students, in good employees and such.
I find so special about the school itself is that the building of the school is this home. And for me, it's been a second home. It feels very much like a family. And with a family comes good times and bad times. And that's the beauty of the school, and that's the beauty of life itself. And I really think that it's a wonderful place to be able to create in because of that homey environment. We really are a community that works together and plays together, and with that, magic happens. When I first met Lola, she had a school in her basement. That's where the school started. And she was running a summer camp, and I went to her house to work in the camp. And it was really interesting because I never would have imagined that someone could run that kind of an art school in the basement of her home, but yet she made it work, which is, I think, really indicative of what the possibilities in creativity can be. You can make anything out of anything. So the possibilities are endless in creative endeavors, and it's beautiful that the art school started in such a way that you know, you're able to see something out of nothing.
I was the front desk receptionist at the Avenue Road Art School for a period of time, and then I had a really amazing time teaching a theater class as well. So I was able also to work with some of the young people coming through the building. I had a particularly unique vantage point in the school. My frame was the beautiful front lobby of the school filled with art, and I got to watch, as the day progressed, all kinds of different people come in and out of the school. And every single one of those people appropriated that space. It was like walking into your house. They sat down and started to talk to each other as if they were talking to family. The welcome and the warmth of the building was felt the moment you walked in. And for me, that is the definition of an artistic experience. It is an ability to just let yourself go into this creative space. You feel happy to be there, you're encountering other people, you are open to new experiences. For me, as a person who's now leading institutions, that idea that you are welcome, that anybody can be somebody who makes something, and that we do that by simply communicating and being friendly and open and welcoming, really has shaped the way that I have thought about the institutions that I've been running. But in general, for me, it's always to think about how do you create a warm, welcome environment for people to be open to creativity.
Some of the classes that I taught at the Avenue Road Art School were drama, musical theater, and improv. And my impressions of the school have always been incredibly positive because it's an amazing community to be a part of. It's very generous, open. There is an amazing feeling of artistry with the teachers and the students. There's a passion for the arts, and there's also a feeling when you walk through those doors that the arts is oozing in the hallways, which is an amazing thing for teachers and for students to feel that sense of passion for the arts, which is why it's such a great place to work. Over the past 25 years, I think the school has been so successful because the teachers know that being warm and teaching in a nurturing environment is so important. And the students respond to that because it's a place where they feel accepted and nurtured and safe to be able to explore the arts.
I think is magical about the Avenue Road Art School are the people that make it up. So my teachers, I'm still in contact with today. I'm still friends with all of them on Facebook, and even though we don't talk regularly, I still get to see what they're up to in their lives, and they were so supportive, just warm, lovely, excellent people. And then also the opportunity to give young people the chance to be in something that has a professional feel in terms of production quality, but also where the stakes aren't too high, where it's a supportive environment, where people can try out different roles. So it has a really nice balance of a bit of cachet, but also, you know, it's an after-school theater program, and that's also kind of perfect. The way that I've benefited from, the day-to-day of being in the various classes at Avenue Road into my life now was really, it was one of the first places that I felt confident and that I was encouraged to be confident. I think that was a really key moment. I have a very distinctive memory of Allison, who was the director of Thoroughly Modern, really pulling me aside and saying, like, you just giving me a bit of a pep talk in a way that I'd never been pep talked before, and telling me that I did have skills that were valuable both in a theater and non-theater context. And so I think it was a very friendly playground to be built up. And, that is definitely a lifelong journey for any person, but particularly any woman. And I think I'm still on that journey, but it definitely started there.
I've always felt welcomed when I walk in the door. Every class I've had, the environment has been encouraging. In fact, I've heard some of the teachers dealing with other students' serious upset because they were frustrated that they couldn't draw the eyes or they couldn't get the nose right or whatever. And I've watched several teachers in particular walk those people through gently and encouraging them so that they didn't just throw their pencils in the air and leave the room. They stayed and they did actually a very nice job. So the faculty are very supportive, and also the students are. I don't think I've had a class where people didn't walk around the room, the students, walk around the room and look at other people's work and say, oh, that's amazing, look what you've got done there, or look at the amazing colors you've got. And people are very, very encouraging. And that's really important. But the main thing that I've gotten is that I look at things differently. I see things differently. And I feel about things differently. I think that's really the biggest thing I've taken away. It's that I look differently. I'm looking at color and looking at light and looking at the way they interact and how the juxtaposition between light and dark and gradations of color, and it really changes your perception.
One of the things that I learned in my photography class was to be able to see with new eyes. That meant to be able to look at a scene and find the photo in the scene rather than just take a snapshot. The idea is that if you're looking at a building, look at it in the context of the sky, the people, not just the architecture. If you're looking at a sports scene, look at a moment that you're going to capture that no one else may have seen. If you're looking at a fishing village, see it with new light, with new vibrancy, and make it mean something. And if you're looking at people, see if you can capture their essence, see if you can capture their soul. When I was taking the classes at school, I knew that every Thursday night, because of the challenge that our instructor, Jennifer Chin, had given us, we had to come back with 5 images that we had taken during the week. That's less than 1 a day. But in order to get that 1 image, I might have taken 30 or 40 pictures. But I had to bring back 5 images that meant something. And then I had to explain after the fact what it had meant to me and what that moment had meant to me. And it was that discipline that I got from Jennifer that made me a better photographer when I went out photographing around the world.
The school itself is housed in this wonderful old
Victorian building, and you'll never come across another art school like it. Inside, it's all sort of cozy and friendly. You feel immediately at ease. All the creaking, staircase and wonderfully lit rooms, and so it feels like coming home. And then on top of that, they've got these extraordinary teachers, because the teachers are professional artists themselves, and the quality of the education you get there is really amazing. I have taken cartooning with Mark Thurman, which sent me off on a graphic novel journey. I've taken portrait painting with John Villian and Dan Hughes, which blossomed into a portrait painting career for me. And then years ago, I took a creative writing course with Rabina Salter, and that propelled my writing career, which has culminated recently in this memoir called They Left Us Everything.
I did 2 theater classes, musical theater, and a number of art classes. As a kid, the Avenue Road Art School was one of my favorite places. I was really able to connect with that childlike sense of wonder, that amazement, that fascination, creativity, and beauty. It was a place where I learned about risk-taking, about stretching boundaries and seeing what new experiences could offer. I experimented with different parts of myself through theater, and I really watched as you could start with a question, maybe an idea, maybe a feeling, and kind of watch where that process would take you through visual arts.
When I'm doing something creative and artistic, like painting, or previously when I'm into, doing design mode, I'm feeling it energizes me. It's like there's something inside me that I need to get out, and it's a release. It's an expression. It's getting what's in me out through decor, through what's on the canvas that I'm painting. The colors I'm using. One of the things that I found intimidating was going to a community college or even looking at OCAD, because those are institutions where it's a lot of young people. And I thought, as an adult and potentially somebody who is talentless, I didn't want to sort of embarrass myself going into a situation like that. For some reason, this felt comfortable. It was one-on-one instruction. It was at your own pace. I was taking adult classes, so I knew I'd be with other, adults. It just had a more comfort level to it, and particularly the one-on-one individualized attention versus if I went someplace like to a community college, it would be more of a classroom, and everybody has to be on the same page and doing things at the same pace. And that's one of the things I think that the Avenue Road Art School excels at, is with the adult education, we're all at different levels and different places in our lives, and we have different amounts of time that we can spend on things, and this accommodates that.
To Broadway Show Tune class for as long as it has been in existence. I've attended every single session that we've had, and I've loved every minute. Several people have been in these classes for a long, long time, but I think I have the record every single session. When I was working, Monday came around, and for me it was like a 3-day weekend. I looked forward to coming to the classes. I absolutely adore every minute that I'm here. I love preparing for it. It's good for my soul. It's good for my soul.
I'm her booby, she's my trap. I am caught and I don't wanna run, 'cause I'm having so much fun with Honey Bun.
I'm a psychologist, and NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, allows me to help other people to change negative beliefs. When I was 11, the teacher said, the art teacher, "Doesn't look like anything, you just don't have any talent." So I never did anything but stick figures with the children. But I just wanted to paint, but I remembered I have no talent. And so at that point I knew how to change a belief. And the belief I changed, I want to paint to please my own eyes. And within a month, I became friends with somebody who went to the Avenue Art School. They were very expressive in their way of explaining, showing, and encouraging you to try out and test for yourself. So it was very encouraging. I'm 92, and it gives me real purpose, because going to the art school to do something with painting, and it's just, I'm never lonely, and that is so wonderful, really.
I'm currently taking a class from Pete, but then I take a class from Pete every term. I think I only missed first winter, so I started in the fall of 2014. I came to Avenue Road School because a pamphlet arrived in the mail in the summer of 2014, just when I needed something very badly, and that worked out very well. It is a very supportive, friendly atmosphere, and in the class that I choose to come back to so much, it's almost like a club because there's so many returnees.
What I found appealing about teaching here at the art school was the joy that the children had. They really wanted to be here, and the lessons that we taught them, or if it was a music class that I was teaching, was always done through storytelling, through exploration. And I loved watching some of my teaching colleagues come up with extraordinary themes and ideas for week-long assignments, and it just tied the whole magical universe together. When you see the artistic world through a child's eyes, you see the vulnerability and the trueness and the essential rawness of emotion, and it's so fun to see how they interpret that themselves. The artistic community here at the Avenue Road Art School is extraordinary. The first sense that I would have as a student would be warmth and comfort, non-judgmental. It's a place of peace and serenity. It gives you the opportunity to explore whatever you want to do in whatever artistic way in a very comfortable